Good morning, guys, and welcome to Sober School, where you can always find experience, strength, and hope. My name is Drew, and I'm an alcoholic, and we want to welcome you to this platform regardless of what your addiction may be. You are welcome here. We support multiple pathways of recovery, and we want this program to work for you. If you're watching this on our Recovery Classroom Facebook page, I encourage you to share your own experience, strength, and hope, and your own words of wisdom. You never know who needs to hear what it is you might have to say, and it could just change somebody's life, including your own. Definitely want to encourage you to also follow those Facebook posting guidelines. We want to make sure folks are here for the right reason and they're able to get the help that they may be seeking. So I want to continue the conversation from yesterday. We started talking about step 4 and resentments, and resentment specifically. And, on page 64, I think it is. Yes, 64. Bill says our liquor was but a symptom, so we had to get down to the causes and conditions, and resentment was the number one offender. Now, with all that being said, before I go any further, let me say this. These are just my viewpoints, my opinions, my interpretations of what Bill has written. All right, I do not speak for AA. I am not the AA guru. These are just my opinions. So with that being said, I want you to get a sponsor and work step 4 with a sponsor. If you've made it this far without a sponsor, I want you to stop. Put it on at the top of your to-do list for today. Go out and find a sponsor. You do not want to go through step 4 without a sponsor, a qualified sponsor at that. So everything I'm about to say, again, are just my viewpoints. Well, actually, everything I say on these videos are my viewpoints and my opinions. They do not represent AA as a whole. And what we're going to be talking about on step 4, you definitely want to work with your sponsor. Great example, sex conduct, step 4, sex conduct. I won't be talking about sex conduct on these videos. Why? Well, that's something you need to work with your sponsor one-on-one with, not with a video. Okay, not with a video. So I won't be talking about sex conduct step 4. That's for you and your sponsor. There are worksheets out there that can help guide you, that your sponsor can take you through and help fill this out. If you don't have a worksheet, that's fine. You can just take out a simple sheet of paper, write resentments at the top, and give yourself 3 columns. Column number 1 of all the people that you resent. Column number 2, all the things that they did to you, line for line. And then column number 3, what was your part in it? You want to complete each column individually before you move on to the next column. So in other words, if I got 30 names, I want all 30 names in the column first. And then I go through one by one in column number 2, and I start filling in what they did to make me resent them. And then the same thing when I'm done with column number 2, jump over to column number 3 and find my part. And again, that's where you want to work with your sponsor. You may truly think that you didn't have a part. Your sponsor, your qualified sponsor, will help pull that out, will help do that house cleaning, if you will, and help you determine whether or not you were truly at fault. There may be things where you weren't at fault, and that's fair. So column 3, again, I want to encourage you, work with your sponsor for sure. I want to talk about on page 66. Bill kind of sums up what's going on. We realize that people who wronged us were spiritually sick. So the people I resent, they may be spiritually sick. Matter of fact, Bill says we're perhaps spiritually sick. There's a possibility they may be spiritually sick, and that's why they wronged us. And on page 67, jumping over to 67, they, like ourselves, were sick too. We ask God to help show them the same tolerance, pity, and patience that we would cheerfully grant to a sick friend. So in other words, if my friend is sick and he's ill and he's ailing, we're not going to be mean and resentful towards them, right? We're going to try to do our best to help them out in whatever way we can. And that's how Bill is suggesting we look at people who we resent. We avoid retaliation and arguments. Basically, what he's saying there is we don't dwell on how their actions made us feel, because that leads to a desire to retaliate or to argue. We don't want that. Remember, this is our side of the street that we're cleaning up here. We look for our own mistakes. Bill goes on. We look for our own mistakes. Where have we been selfish, dishonest, self-seeking, and frightened? And that's kind of that column 3 that I was telling you about. Again, that's the one you want to work with your sponsor. So keep in mind, you want to start with column number 1. Just list all their names out that people you resent. And when you're done, when you think you're done with column number 1, move on to column number 2, and so on. You're not going to get this perfect the first time through. Not going to happen. And if you do, you may, if you think you got it perfect, you may not have done as deep of a dive as what you needed to. Okay, so I understand step 4 can be scary to folks. You could be reliving past trauma. I get that. I understand that you could be reliving things that you did to people. I can understand how that can be make you apprehensive. I totally get that, but that's not the goal here, because again, we want to not worry about or not think and dwell on what has been done to us. We want to, because that leads to being argumentative, and even some cases a desire to retaliate. What we want to do is address it, confront it, address it, and take stock, because we want to discard all that old inventory, all that old baggage that we've been carrying around for so long. So again, step 4 is incredibly important. We definitely want you to work through this step with a qualified sponsor. We don't want to go in and rehash it and then go, oh my God, because that's happened too. People get into step 4 and then they go right back out. So stay in contact with your sponsor, stay in touch with other people in your support network, especially when you're going through step 4. I totally get how step 4 can be, daunting, a daunting task. For me, that wasn't so much the case for me, because I knew whenever I came in, I knew the shit that I did wrong. I knew the shit that had happened to me, right? I already knew it. Step 4 for me personally was just me writing it all out. It didn't get scary for me until I went to step 5, because then I had to tell another human being the exact nature of our wrongs, and we're going to be talking about that too soon. So again, I'll leave you with that. I want to encourage you, find a qualified sponsor. If you've not yet, or if you're just getting to step 4 and you've not yet found a sponsor, you don't want to go through this alone. Promise you. And you don't want to do it over video with me. I can assure you that. On this series, we're going to just be talking about the resentments and the fears, and the character defects. We'll be talking about that as well. So with that being said, we'll talk more tomorrow. I'll let you guys go and get to your day. Again, I want to thank you guys for letting me come in and share 7-8 minutes with you throughout your day. I know things get hectic, and I do hope that you guys do find some experience, strength, and hope in these messages that I share with you. If you do, great. If not, that's okay too. They'll always be here for you to refer back to if you just need a lift or just want to hear me go off on my tears, as one alcoholic said last night. So, with that being said, I hope you guys have a kick-ass day. And remember, guys, you cannot get drunk if you don't take that first drink.